as they come off their bye week. At halftime, legend DeMarcus Ware, who has the most sacks in Dallas history, will be inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor. They have the next great pass rusher on the team, of course. Cowboys legends take us inside what makes Micah Parsons so special.
Back to throw, looking. Oh, he's chased. Parsons has got him again.
He lines up inside of a guard, and before they can blink, he's through the hole. And that's what LT did. Yeah, you lying, baby. And I still don't understand how they can just line up, and before they blink an eye, they through. Hey, baby, this squad's like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
I'll take you back to Bill Parcells, and I heard Lawrence Taylor stories every day about how to play with a tenacity. We always said, turn up the radio and make it as loud as possible. And that's what Lawrence Taylor did. With Micah, he has all the tools. The tools of the Lawrence Taylor are not to get to the quarterback. If Micah can be consistent this whole year, that's when he gets that Lawrence Taylor factor.
Pressure. Good night, nurse. Parsons.
What are they talking about?
Rex, I can feel your discomfort whenever anyone compares anyone to Lawrence Taylor. But this guy is obviously pretty special. What are your thoughts when you hear that comparison?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely he's special. There is no doubt about it. I mean, he does have all the tools and everything else. I can tell you this, Lawrence Taylor was flat out scary.
Yeah.
Scary and nasty and mean, intimidated everybody. I don't get the same vibe from Micah Parsons. He's awesome.
Yes.
I'm just telling you.
You're not
That dude is the meanest cat I've ever seen, Lawrence
But
Taylor.
he doesn't have to be mean off the field. Okay, Micah Parsons got a podcast. He's doing a little media stuff on the side. I don't think LT was doing anything like that back in the day. Let's get to a guy who knows all about it. That would be our Ed Werder, who is live in Arlington with the very latest. We're not used to seeing you with an early game at home, Ed.
So nice, though, Sam, to say good morning instead of good afternoon. Micah Parsons was out here briefly pregame for his warm-up, and he was paying tribute to DeMarcus Ware wearing a T-shirt that had his depiction on it. And Parsons told me this week that working pass rush moves with Ware, discussing technique and mentality, have really contributed to his own development as one of the elite pass rushers in the league. He only wishes, he told me, that Ware was around more during the season. Now let's turn our attention to quarterback Dak Prescott and whether he rediscovered in the victory over the Chargers before the bye week the way he needs to play for the Cowboys to experience offensive success. Prescott made a conscious decision to emphasize using mobility in that game, saying this week that's how he grew up playing football. It's part of who he is. Being physical, getting out of the pocket. That decision was validated with a victory that featured the longest touchdown run of Prescott's career and Dallas's longest offensive play of the season, both the result of the quarterback using his mobility. And now in his age 30 season, and having experienced that gruesome fractured ankle and leg in 2020 while running, Prescott realizes he has to calculate accurately the risk-reward equation of leaving the pocket. Prescott said, I'm not as fast as I once was. Well, maybe I never was fast at all, to be honest. He said, but let's just say when that threat is there, not only do I feel like I'm at my best, it's another weapon, a bonus. And I asked Jerry Jones, Sam, this week, he writes the checks totaling $40 million to the quarterback, how he feels about Prescott putting himself at risk. He said, he's going to play the game the way he's wired. That's a good dynamic to have for your team. Under center, he'll turn it up and get it on when we need to win.
Sorry, Ed, I'm watching this. Was that his phone that he just pulled out? Is that normal? Do you normally have your phone out there, Alex, when your Dax is he taking pictures?
That's the music, Sam.
I
didn't.
Oh, that was music. Okay, whatever it takes to get you ready for a big game. But Ed was just talking about what you were talking about during film mall. Him just being purposeful when he runs the ball. He doesn't have to be as fast as he once was, but it seems to be working when he's doing it. But Randy, I guess I'm curious about the wide receiver position on this team right now, because CeeDee Lamb, I mean, there have been some really bright spots, but still just one touchdown so far this season. What are you seeing from CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott's connection?
Well, the thing about it is how they're utilizing him out in the field. I've always talked about having a number one threat one thing about Mike McCarthy, everybody had a question mark for this offense because when they said he was going to take over the play calling, everybody wanted to know what this offense was going to look like. You bring in Brandon Cooks, so we still don't know. But one thing that I'll say this season, in big games, CeeDee Lamb has been showing up, and the reason why is because the new play caller, Mike McCarthy, has been putting him in situations to win. But on the flip side of the LA Rams, their wide receivers, with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, I talked about earlier in the show about what didn't happen in the second half for the LA Rams. All this talk about Cooper Kupp being able to have the trifecta, coming back off an injury and having 2 consecutive weeks of 100 yards, but he got shut down last week in the second half. And there's a cornerback, Deron Bland. Everybody wanted to know what was going to happen when Diggs went down. You bring in Stephon Gilmore. So one thing that I tell you about Deron Bland, he has a knack for the football. 7 PBUs, 3 INTs. Alex Smith, with those 3 INTs, 2 of those has been house called. So if I'm looking for something today from this offense from the LA Rams, I want to see if Matthew Stafford is going to still try to show the strength of his arm on the short side of the field and try to throw it to the wide side of the field. So today is a big matchup at the wide receiver position.
You mentioned that Rams passing game struggling in the second half last week, and a big part of it is Matthew Stafford is hearing that noise, right? That noise DeMarcus Ware just talked about, right? Bill Parcells, turn the radio up, make it loud. Like it's wearing on Matthew Stafford. Like he is playing really well this year, but he gets hit every play. And he just played the Steelers. Oh, and guess what?
Yep.
Now you're going to Dallas to play a defense that leads the NFL in pressures.
And
oh yeah, and by the way, your tackle's out. Rob Havenstein's out.
he's not playing today.
Yeah.
So that they're starting tackle as well. But this is an emotional game for the Rams today for a couple of reasons. You brought up a homecoming for Matthew Stafford, right?
Yep.
He's back in front of his home fans there in Texas. Sean McVay's first game, had a baby this week, emotional experience. And they're all coming off a loss where Mike Tomlin took Cooper Kupp out of that game. Mike Tomlin usually does a pretty good job of that, targeting the Steelers this week. He did it again to them last week. So there's a lot of motivation today for the Rams, who still are in the playoff picture in the NFC, if they can find a way to win today especially.
You know, where we started was about the receivers for Dallas and CeeDee Lamb and all that. Can we please recognize that your second best receiver is Brandon Cooks? Last week, Dallas did. And that's why the offense looked more efficient. I would like to see, they had 11 pass attempts to Michael Gallup. Why? 3 catches? Why? Let's put CeeDee Lamb at he's playing X. Yep. He's playing X. And they throw 11 passes. He's playing man coverage. You got to be able to beat somebody.
The X-wide receiver got to beat a man.
He's got to be able to beat a man coverage, for goodness sakes.
Explain to the viewers, like X receiver, he's playing one-on-one, weak side.
He's the split end on the weak side, away from the tight end. And to me, oh my goodness, like, quit throwing the ball there. Go to Cooks and go to CeeDee Lamb. And to me, forget this guy. Forget him. I don't care he's getting the man coverage. Absolutely forget him. Go the other direction.
As you sit here showing Dak Prescott, I've talked each and every week about matchups. And the other week I was talking about Myles Garrett and Trent Williams. And I said this year you won't find another matchup better than that one. But today, I'm surprised nobody's on this set talking about it. You talking about going up in the ring in honor of some of the all-time guards for the Dallas Cowboys. You have Larry Allen. You have Nate Newton. Those are legendary guards for that team. Yes, and I'm talking about Zach Martin going up against Aaron Donald today. You want to match up Dallas Cowboy Rams fan? You look at the interior and watch what those boys do. I can't wait to see this game. That's the 1 o'clock.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
wait, Adam. Can't wait.
I just love that Rex just broke down a wide receiver, and our Hall of Fame wide receiver is all about the defense. They're big guys up front. You guys are some good teammates right there. Look, let's be honest. These Cowboys still have a lot to prove, though. We're talking about them like it's just assumed they're better than the Rams. They have 1 win more than the Rams, and the 4 teams that the Cowboys have beaten this season are a combined 9-17. It's time to string some good wins along if you want to keep that narrative going that you're a team to beat in the league right now. Now, the Rams do know what the 3-3 Bengals are up against today as they're in Santa Clara taking on a Niners